This video is brought to you by Patterson Car Care. Get double of premium original detail product for half the price. Head over to pattersoncarcare.com or go to the link in the description below.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a platform I've always wanted to drive. And by platform, I mean the Miata. I love the Miata, but at the same time, I've always wanted to drive and review the K Miata. Now, a ton of people with the NA Miata are starting to go over to the K swap. This is because if you have the 1.6 liter motor, to me, it's just like, get rid of that thing. The 1.8 is a little bit better than the 1.6, but honestly, putting a K series in a Miata is like next level fun. The reason I say that is because you have more displacement, it revs higher. It's a Honda engine because the Miata is 50-50 weight distribution. When you do the K Miata, it pretty much doesn't change much. And it still feels like what you expect. It still feels like it's not out of place. IRP short shifter, which is so insanely short. It's the shortest short shifter I've ever felt, ever. Out of the 10 years of doing car reviews, this is like feeling like a dog box almost. However, as you can hear, it's really loud. When you do a K-swap Miata, it's gonna be pretty loud because of the motor mounts and also the short shifter and everything else. There's more vibration. Nothing to the point. I mean, when you're getting an NA Miata and you're doing it as a project car, I really do feel like you know what you're getting yourself into. It's just one of those things where you know it's an old car now. It's over 30 years old now, or almost 30 years old. And you just deal with it. But you don't buy a Miata for the comfort. You buy it because you're in a good seating position. It's really good at turning in when you have a good wheel and tire setup. And this also has feel suspension. So we have the subframe from K Miata, and that's what makes it so easy and so possible to do the K swap. Oh my God, it's so short. I'm like looking for neutral. So this is a K24 engine, and it's the 2.4 liter Honda engine that you found in freaking everything at one point. The K20 tended to be more so in the RSX and cars like that, but a lot of people do the K20 swap because it has that peppiness to it. It doesn't have as much torque as the K24, but you're revving it out more, etc. But when you have the K24, you have a little bit more bottom end, and that makes it punchier around exiting corners. The look of the car is also freaking fantastic. I love the color of this thing. A Miata with a hard top, you can't go wrong with. I think they always have looked better with the hard top. Even factory Miatas sit pretty low, and so they've always had this stance to them. It's unfortunate that so many people look past the Miata because they think it's a feminine looking car, but if they actually drive one, they really enjoy it. But the K-swap has kind of turned into the import scene's LS swap in a way. So a lot of people are going to the K24 because there's parts everywhere, and they were in everything from the Honda Element. The point of the matter is, it's a much more easily accessible engine, and they're pretty cheap if you pull it out of a motor. If you pull the motor out at a junkyard or something, it's very cheap. We also have ride bucket seats and nice Takata harnesses that are DOT approved. I really like these harnesses a lot because they have the more of seatbelt feel rather than hooking everything up. That takes a lot more time. This you can get in and out of very quickly in comparison. It's much more like a traditional seatbelt on your lap. And this bucket seat, I sit perfectly in it. If I was any bigger, probably not. He has the harnesses attached to the roll bar. I'm just gonna say this, some people will buy harnesses, not get a harness bar or not get a roll bar, and they'll attach it like to the floorboard or something. If you get in an accident, that's gonna break your neck or break your back. So yeah, don't do that. It's been a while since I reviewed an NA or an MB Miata, and I always forget how little the door handles are on the outside. It just has a purity to it. The Miata has always had purity to it because it's just focused on drivers. And if you are able to ever do a K-swap in a Miata, I would just tell you to do it because the 1.8 liter, the 1.6, they do give you a good experience because you're flooring it the entire time, whatever you're doing. But when you drive this, it's like, it feels like an actual race car. to the K20, and the K24 has this very nice linear power band, and the K20 is just like, it's fantastic. And it's not scary. It doesn't make your car scary. It just makes it a little bit more thrilling than it was and more efficient than it was. And you're still getting like 20 miles to the gallon. So it's not like you're sacrificing that either. You're not having to go E85 or anything like that to make the car more fun. And redline is 8,500. So getting there is gonna take a while. There we go. I'm gonna check the time and the weather through that power band. Oh, 5th gear. That's how short the ratio is in the shifter. I went straight up thinking it was 3rd gear. Nope, I missed. There might be a learning curve with this shifter, because typically when you go into 3rd, you think you just push a little bit straight up, but this is like, you miss it, you're in 5th gear. So we do have a factory LSD in this thing, which is really comforting, because the last thing you want to do in a swapped car is have a open diff. You don't want that. All right, I'm gonna try that again, see if I can get that 3rd gear now. Into VTEC, it just is always in VTEC. That's kind of what it feels like. It just, you have power all the time. You still have the peppiness of a K-Series, but at the same time, you're not really worried about it too much, because you can go in and out of throttle and be completely fine. I mean, I'm in 5th gear and I can still make it up the hill, and it's a naturally aspirated 4-banger, you know? There's so much room in the RPM. Setup with 2 25s on a Miata all the way around, and honestly, I'm surprised it's not rubbing even more than it is. The only time it's rubbing is when we're at really high speed and we're taking corners just like that. When we're at really high speed and hitting a bump or a turn goes off camber. But other than that, no, it's totally worth the extra tire. Because you have to remember, when you get a Miata factory, you get these itty bitty tires, tiny little tires, which make it great if it's your daily driver because they're super cheap tires. But if you're trying to make it your fun project car, then no, you need to add more grip. It's a little car, and the more grip you have, the better. I drove an NA Miata recently, the brand new one, and for what I'm doing right now, I would have to be flooring it 10 out of 10 the entire time. I knew it! It's that close. Alright, so, do you guys think that the K Miata is sacrilege to the Miata soul or brand? I really don't think so, because it seems like it's a pretty socially acceptable swap in this car, because a lot of people secretly don't want to admit that it's a better engine. At the end of the day, I think it suits this chassis absolutely perfect, and I wouldn't say anything against it. I would totally do a K-swap if I ever had a Miata. I mean, and on that note, I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.